Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome again to my channel. Please like and share. Just gonna wait for a few seconds for others to join us before we get started. And if you can hear me, do let me know in the comment section. If you can hear me, do let me know in the comment section. Like I said, this is going to be a very quick live stream, guys. It's going to be a very quick live stream, so we won't be staying that long here. So, right, okay. So, hello everybody. Welcome and happy Friday to you all. How are you all doing? How has your day and your week been so far? Hello, Cindy Manuel, my beautiful sister. How are you? Good evening. Happy Friday to you. Please like and share as you come in. Like and share, like and share, like and share. How are you guys doing? It's a cold one in Glasgow today. It's meant to be summer, but the weather is not summering at the moment. Please let me know, guys. Hello, Habi. How are you? Have you finished packing? Or you are still you are still trying to
silent
pack?
Shift in the UK law could mean legal migrants.
Sorry, guys. I was just editing some video. That video has just finished editing. Guys, like us a comment, please, and we shall get started. I'm sure you guys already this video was on my channel, but unfortunately, maybe because I dropped the video of the thingy, or maybe because I dropped the video in my video, like I dropped the snippet of what happened, because I think it was because I dropped it in the video, so YouTube did not allow me to monetize that video, and I decided to leave it on. And yes, if you go and check that video now, it has over 6,000 views on it. That would have made me about $100, but hey-ho, it's cold. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm going to share my screen with you. Like I said, I was actually not going to talk anymore about this news of this Nigerian sister, but I saw some comments on underneath the video on my channel, and the people that were actually talking in support of this woman were actually our Nigerian people. And me reading comment from them, because obviously when you see somebody drop a comment, you see their name, you know that this person is a Nigerian person. They were like, oh, look at how a fellow Nigerian person, that's me they are referring to, is saying that person did that. They were like actually coming for me for saying that the justice that they gave the man was not justice. And I'm going to share my screen with you so we can read the article. So I'm not going to share any video or anything from that snippet. Okay. So I'm going to let me quickly open that screen up so we can just react to it as we're going on. So you guys can see from my screen there the video. I mean, not video actually, the news itself. Okay. So it says here, according to Mirror, like Olagunju, it says oral CCTV shows a carer violently degrading a frail elderly man with dementia just days before he died. So I've seen some videos where people were saying the man unalive, the man died 2 years later. That's a blatant lie. The man did not unalive 2 years later. He died about 10 days later. 10 days after what this Nigerian carer did to him. Okay, so I'm going to read that news again. Like I said, there's a video on my channel. There's no ad, so you can go watch it. Okay, there's no ad on it. So it says here, cruel. So you guys see from the news, it says just days before he died. Days before he died. Cruel Bilikesu Olagunju, a 42-year-old who had been in the job just 6 days. So we don't know what job this our Nigerian sister was doing before she started this care job. And in a way, I'm actually going to share some observations that I made, that I noticed, and also it is not all the blame should not go to this Olabisi, to this our Nigerian sister. Part of the blame goes to the care home as well, or to the agency who gave her the job. But let's quickly read the story. So it says that Bilikesu, who had been in job 6 days, was caught on camera, in quotes, rough handling, not treating the man well. John Attard was 88. and she dragged him like a rag doll at his home, a court heard. Footage from the 45-minute visit captured the full horrific ordeal that the family of the great-grandfather say he never recovered from. Olagunju, who at the time was employed by Unique Personnel UK Limited, stripped the great-grandfather, removed the papa's clothes, threatened to do what for the man, and even dragged him across his living room floor, ignoring him as he repeatedly told her. John Atta told Olagunju that she was hurting him. At one point, Olabisi told this Baba, maybe I will BEATU. I will FLOGU. I will take you to the GP to get injections. I will call the police on you. That's part of the image there of how she was looking after this man. The distressing images were filmed in a victim's home in Bexley, Kent on Christmas Eve. This happened on Christmas Eve, 2022, on a camera set up by the son. The following day, Mr. Attard was found unresponsive with blood dripping down the side of his face. The pensioner was rushed to hospital where he remained unresponsive and tragically died 10 days after the incident. So people that are saying that, oh, he died 2 years after, so maybe that was why the court did not jail him. No, maybe that was why the court did not jail her. He died 10 days after Olabisi treated that Baba like that. Obviously, 88 is old, right? But the 88, without being treated that way, Baba would have lasted maybe another few years. So Olagunju pleaded guilty to one count of ill treatment or willfully neglecting an individual while acting as a care worker. She was given a 6-week sentence, suspended for 18 months, along with 50 hours unpaid work at Woolwich Crown Court. So obviously, like I said, in that video, that was not justice. That was part of how she treated the man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. So I'm going to leave this image here, this particular one here, and we're going to discuss. So like I was saying, guys, please like this live stream, please. Abby said Nigerians deserve their leaders. Absolutely. Like, see, when I was reading their comment, this what you've just said here was that was exactly what was echoing in my head. Very badly behaved, exactly. I've let people really looked out for her because I don't understand. Exactly. I was saying it to somebody, and somebody was like, maybe she asked some people to help her pray in Nigeria. I really do. I think they should revisit the case. Exactly, Abby. It's not. It was a slap in the face. I was actually discussing this topic with my colleague at work today. Okay, for instance, me now, I have my son. Because I gave him a slap on his shoulder, the police are going to give me a caution for it. And if I refuse that caution, they might probably take that case towards a prosecutor fiscal and they will drag me to court. But this is a care worker with all the evidences against her. She was given a 6-week suspended jail term, which means she will never step foot in jail. And then she'll have to work 50 hours. Like, make it make sense. Why? So me, I received a caution. But obviously, in her own case, she was found obviously guilty. But in my own case, I did not commit any crime, was not guilty. So I was like, no, what? Exactly, there's even evidence. And they did not send her to jail. Like, make it make sense. Anyway, with all that she did, obviously she pleaded guilty. And in that video, I was mad. And I said that I understand that Nigerians, we looked after our parents at home. There's no care home in Nigeria, even though I came across a video a few days ago saying that there are now care homes in Nigeria now. And I know that Nigerians will love to take care of our elderly ones, that there was no way she would treat her own father like that. Like I said, she took that job. She probably took that job because of the money. It was Christmas Eve, right? They'll probably pay her double pay per hour. And when I watched the video of this particular clips here, to the side of the bed, you can see a working frame. So this is where I'm going to apportion some blame to the agency that sent her there. So the man probably has mobility issues, or possibly has mobility issues, because I can see a working frame there. I don't know if you guys can see where I'm putting my mouse. He has a mobility issue, which means that maybe he's not balanced on his feet. So in this case, on a normal day, if I were to carry out personal care for this elderly man, I can do it alone. Which means that if I need to wash him, I can easily wash him while he's sitting on his chair. I will do the head, the upper body first while he is sitting down. even do his legs and his thighs while he's sitting down. It's like, we call it top and tail. So you are not actually giving the baba, you are not actually giving him a normal shower, but you're doing like a top and bottom. So you're using your soap and washcloth to do the wash, the top and tail. I think we call it top and tail. Manner suspension, in the UK, when you plead guilty, the punishment is reduced. But in this case, in this regard, that obviously our actions contributed to the quick unaliving of this baba, she should have at least, it shouldn't have been suspended. She should have actually gone to do that 6 weeks in jail. She should have actually gone to do that 6 weeks in jail, because there's video evidence of how she treated her baba, knowing fully well that baba is diabetic. She poured marmalade, jam inside the coffee or tea that baba was drinking. Who does that? She was wicked. She was really, really wicked. It was as if she did not really want to do that job. She's only been doing the job for 6 days. If she needed the money so bad, let her go and do whatever she wants to do to make money anyhow. But this was somebody's loved one. This was somebody's father, grandfather, great-grandfather. And yes, the man unalived, the man did not regain consciousness 10 days after. And the people were like, it was 2 years after. That was a big lie. According to the report now, the man died 10 days after. In this, Gloria, please respect yourself. Go and watch the video and tell me where the man was combative, or whatever you're saying. If that was the case, I started an example, and this is not the first time I'm talking about cases like this. You can't force a patient to give them the care they don't want from you. Even if he's pushing your hands away, even if he's shouting, you can't force them, because that's their own side of saying no. And you have to take their no for no. You have to take their no for no. If you go to give a care to whoever, yes, I know there are some people who have dementia, and I also go on to educate us in terms of dementia. Like, no, there's several stages to dementia cases. Some of them, they might even be spitting at you. You might decide that, okay, if you're going to keep spitting at me, you don't even need to, you still need to converse with the person you want to go and care for. Like, okay, do you mind stopping that? I need to give you a personal care. You still speak to them as if they are in their senses. You still need to speak to them that, even though it is cognitive issues when it comes to dementia, they might not even know what they're doing, because that is part of the effect of dementia. So even if he was combative, even if he was throwing punches, you still need to treat him. You still need to be the one to be patient and treat him, knowing fully well that he might not even be aware of his actions. That he might not even be aware of his actions. That is what dementia does, and that is what even Parkinson does. But still, you need to communicate with them as if you're speaking to somebody. I'm a nurse as well, Gloria, so I know what I'm talking about here. Go and do that, and NMC will strike you off. What do you mean? So you want to give somebody fluid now, and the patient said, "I don't want you to come towards me." You're going to go ahead and connect the IV, right? You're going to go ahead and connect the IV. Or if a patient says, "I don't want you to treat me," and you're going to stand there and start exchanging words with the patient, where you can easily walk away and go speak to your manager. What kind of nursing care do you do? Or what kind of nurse are you? I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. If the patient is resisting care, must you force the care on them? Must you force the care on them? I've worked in a care home before. I've looked after a resident who said she does not want me because I'm a black woman. And I said, that's fine. I did not say because she was part of my case that I was going to do that money that I must care for her. No. She made it clear. She was vocal. She actually said to my face, "I don't want you to care for me because you are a black woman. I don't want you." She said it to my face. And I did not take it bad. I was like, okay, you make my caseload easy, -1. I was meant to get 5 residents up that morning, because it's a very big care home. So we get assigned our care, our patients every day. And I was working 12 hours a day in a care home. She told me she does not want me. So I left her. I went to go and do the first 4. Those ones I was able to do them, take my time. We are assigned like half an hour of, it depends on the kind of care they need. Okay, so you assign a time maybe 45 minutes to get them a shower. Some might not even take up to that. Okay, so I went to go do 4, and then I went back to her later. And when I went back to her later, I was like, okay, can I get you up? the way she was, allowing me do stuff, you wouldn't have believed me if I told you that she told me she did not want me to look after her because I was black woman like 2 hours before. I went back to her and I was okay, like, let's get you ready for the day. Breakfast is going to be served. She got up. She was working with a Zimmer frame. And I was able to help her get her dressed, get her downstairs for breakfast. That was the same resident who told me 2 hours earlier that she does not want me to give her personal care because I'm a black woman. If after I went back to her the second time and she still refused, all I needed to do was go to my supervisor and say, oh, you know what? I've gone to room 325. She said this, she said that, she said this, she said that. It is now up to that manager to send somebody else there. There was no way, in any way, I would have forced that care on her. Never. Because one, it is not safe. She might start eating out. So why do you want to put yourself in such a situation? Why? You say you are a nurse. What does consent mean to you? You're just going to go ahead and do the care anyway because you want to finish your caseload? Or more, if that's the kind of nursing you come, you better be careful because your NMC pin is at risk. Your NMC pin is at risk if you are giving care to patients when they are telling you they don't want it. Let me read your comment. I'm not going to take Gloria's comment anymore. Exactly. You report to your supervisor or your manager. Like I said, before I became a nurse, I was a support worker. I was a care worker in a care home. I left care home. I was working with vulnerable women. Even as they are vulnerable women, there are still some things that, even though if I know that men are somebody dating them by the side, I have no right to go and tell them to get away from them because it's none of my business. If I notice violence from the CCTV that I'm watching, all I need to do, I won't even go out there. All I need to do is call the police, say, so person, I'm a support worker calling from so place. I've just observed this. Do you mind reporting or do you mind visiting? So I'll give them the address. Even if I say maybe the man, as the man, they validator, they carry her. If the man start to maybe panel beat her, I won't even go out there to go and say anything. All I need to do was call the police because person they shag person. He comes out to the wale and they beat him. What's my business? My duty at that moment was to call the police, and the police will attend. Okay, and as a care job is not for everyone. If you don't have love, patience, exactly. If you don't have the love, the empathy, compassion, because at some point, if you don't have any of those attributes, you can't really advocate for the person you are looking after. One of the reasons why I left that care home I was working for was because I saw some other people, the way they were treating residents. They will shout at residents. And just like you said, some residents will lash out. Don't touch me. Don't do this. And I will see all this colleague actually holding the resident's hand, throwing their hands away. Don't do this to me. Don't do that. That's a carer doing that to it. And I'm like, why are you guys like this? Why are you guys like this? Every time I tell them that, oh, you guys should stop it. If you do this, I'm going to report you. The people I was working to started threatening me. Say, if I know, say them burn me well, make them hear from anywhere, say that then they do with this. And I was like, there's 4 of them like that I observed who do that. I observed 4 of them that, residents will lash out. And most of these residents, some of them have dementia, either early stage or late stage of dementia. Some of them have underlying health condition like cancer. They are receiving cancer treatment, elderly people. So their mood will change. In their lifetime, they were once surgeons. In their lifetime, they were once, pilots. They were once gynecologists. So that is that stage of their life that every one of us will attain at some point in our life. You will get to a stage in your life that you will not even be able to grab a cup of water yourself. So if you're looking after somebody and they're clearly saying to you or they are resisting that care, it's fine. Leave them, go away. Go do other things that you need to do. Come back again. If after coming back, they're still refusing you giving them that care, then go report to your supervisor. Or for her, this is a care at home. She's actually giving the care to the carer. She's actually giving the care to the service user in his own house. Call your agency. So, I've tried to give so personal care. Is resisting. Is not allowing me. Blah blah blah. They'll probably maybe just send somebody else. So, like I was saying, giving personal care to this man. If I was the one in this our sister situation, it's obviously clear that the man does not want that care. All she could do was either maybe go prepare his breakfast or go put his clothes in the washing machine, get the house chores done, then come back. Try again. If he still refuses, then go on the phone and call your agents. But what did she do? No, she was dragging the man. You like if you guys saw the video, you saw what she did. There was no way she would treat her own father like that. And trust me, if anybody treats my parent like that, I swear to God, I will go prison because I will give that killer water. I don't care if we are in diaspora or not. She knows this man is a diabetic patient. She poured margarine, jam. You all know jam. Make her talk in a Yoruba accent. Jam. She poured it into his coffee, threatening, I will flog you. I will call the police for you. I will do this on top what? Like I said, I could see a frame there. It seems this man had a mobility issue. Washing the man from head to his waist could be done while the man was sitting down. That is, if the man was not resisting. If she can do the top and tape from head to his waist down. And then, if she wants to do the thighs to the legs, she can still do that while the resident is sitting down. And then she needed to do proper personal care, like, refresh him below. She could have just asked him, put his walking frame in front of him and help him stand up. And while she's helping him stand up, then she can do, the refreshing with fresh wipes to do cleaning back and front of his private area. Easy job. If the man was not resisting. But you guys saw all she did there from that, dragging the man, pulling. Nah. It shows clear that she was doing it for the money. And in some cases like this, if you're working, this is mainly like soul working. And me, I will not advocate for working as a soul carer in somebody's home. I just saw a news. I'm going to be bringing that story anyway, where a Kenyan lady was unalived, where she went to provide where she went to provide care. Obviously, the person she went to provide care for has mental issues, and this person she was giving care to, so she was like a living carer. The person she was living with to provide care for this person unalived her. So lone care working is very, very dangerous. In the case of this person that was unalived by the person she was looking after, she shouldn't have been the only person lone working. There should have been two of them, knowing the record of the person they are going to provide care for. For me, I will never ever advocate that you be a lone carer, like a living carer. You see if the person is fine, and trust me, anytime you are being sent to go look after a patient in their house, there's a file, there's a dossier of what they know this person to be. Is he, like their character, their mood? Is there are they violent? It's going to be in their profile. They will tell you. It's going to be in their case notes. It's mainly to help you, provide care. But if you're in Nigeria, if you're one of those people who says that, why are you bitter that she did not go to jail? Look at another Nigerian woman talking this. They will do the same to your mother. They will do the same to your father, because this, like I said, there was a better way to have done this care for this man. If she was struggling, the agency could have probably sent another person so that both of them would get this patient, get him sorted. But no, she decided to force the care. Even if you are in a nursery and you're providing babysitting to a child, if the child tells you no, you still need to respect that decision. No. But no, you can't force it. If they have not given you their consent, you can't force the care. You can't force it. I'm surprised that she got 6 weeks suspended jail time and 50 hours. The Alafa or the Imam or the pastor that she asked to pray for her, that their prayer worked really well. All I'm going to say in this regard is this: if you don't have the patience, if you're going into care work because of the money, you are digging the grave for yourself. And that's what said, hello, they called me Black Monkey. Lobaton, I've heard that several times. Abi said, Nigerians come here with their bad behavior and learn quickly. Exactly. And some other comments I saw on Insta blog, they were like, you know what? This is a typical attitude of a Nigerian nurse, of how nurses in Nigeria will treat you. But we are not in Nigeria. Before you start all these training jobs, all these care jobs, you will be trained. And I said it in the other video of the 4 Nigerian people that were jailed a few years ago. I still have that video on my channel. You will be trained. There's no care job you will go and do. There's no care agency that you go and take a care job that you will not be trained. You will be trained. If it's an agency, they often give like an in-house training. And then once you start the in-house training, any other thing you need to know, you will learn as you go along. For the fact that is her 6th day in the job, she shouldn't have been working alone. She should have had somebody working alongside with her. And I don't want to believe that she is new to this care job, because I've seen other articles where people are alleging that even her colleagues who have worked with her before often say to her that the way she works is wrong. I wish I'm able to find all of those articles now, where people, like even some of our colleagues, they were speaking anonymous, saying that, oh, they've told her that that her character is not the kind of character you should have as a carer. So I'm going to say it again. If you're into care work for the money, you are digging the grave for yourself. But if you want to do care, do it because you are compassionate about caring for people. Like I said, she will never do that to her own father. She will never treat her mother that way. And this person that you're treating, also the way you've treated him, is a human being. Blood runs through his veins. The only thing is that he is at the stage of life that each and every one of you watching me, you will also be at that stage of, in fact, you will be at that age. And like I said, you'll be at that age that you will not even be able to brush your own teeth yourself. Talk more, say you want to hold a cup of water to your mouth. Is it a crime to make them live like a human being again? Is it a crime? Regardless of their color, is it a crime? Is it a crime? If you can't do the job, don't do it. Don't do it. In most care homes, if we were to look at if this was a care home, it would have been 2 carers looking after this man. So because the way she was even lifting lifting this man, she could even hurt her own back. This is where moving and handling come into place. You could have used that frame, walking frame by the side there. Ask him, John, do you want to stand up? Help him stand up and make sure he's steady on his walking frame. That way, you can do the bottom half so that you can clean him perfectly fine. If it were to be in care home, there's going to be tools that can help you sit him up, that you strap to him, and that tool will lift him up so that you are not pulling or tugging. And that tool will hold him up till you are able to give him a refreshing around his private area. So you are not pushing and pulling, because in that instance, you can also break your own back. But when we talk now, they will tell us that this our nurse that is telling us that I'm a nurse. That. No. You need to respect the concept. You see, even if that person has lost their cognitive function, for the fact that they're able to tell you no, you should take their no for no. Abby said, I think there's a slight misunderstanding with Gloria. Well, that comment I saw, she was like, so she was saying that they are combative, like, yeah, some of them will lash out, they will push, they will talk, they will try to eat you. So in that regard, when they are trying to push you, spit at you, punch you, you still want to give them care? You won't protect yourself. You want to go and receive care. Nobody deserves to suffer violence while at work. No matter, even as I'm sitting there, no matter how much I love my job, I have not gone to work for any patient to assault me. I will always prevent that. In this case, she could have even if John was throwing, punching. She could have just maybe used soothing word. Hello, John, what is the matter today? Is everything all right? Did you sleep well? Start a conversation, because at the end of the day, this person is a human being. Honestly, I agree with you. I'm saying caretaker did not report and respond appropriately. That's exactly. Put jam in his coffee. Person who they live with diabetes. It produces a lot of insulin, and you're now adding sugar too much. You are adding jam into his coffee. That's you trying to buy him. That's you trying to buy him. I mean, I've never been treated by a Nigerian nurse, and my own nurse, being a Nigerian, I'll be a different nurse. I will never let that tag. Nigerian nurse, no. And so when I come here and I say things like this, I'm passionate about it, and I'm so mad at the fact that there are some Nigerians like us who are in these care jobs who are even going to make the job difficult for some of us who actually love what we do. I said, it's true, this is how Nigerian nurses behave, always so rude. I don't see the rudeness. If you're not enjoying the job anymore, leave. It's not a must. Leave. If you think, you're not being respected at your job, if you think you're not being regarded, leave. If that is an issue for you, like, don't get me wrong, every workplace have their shenanigans. If you think you're not being respected by your staff or by your HR or by your management, you can leave. Or if you think the workload is too much for you, try and put in a form. For me, when things is impacting me at work, I try and have a chat about it. If there's no change, I put in a formal writing. And say they will not say they did not receive the letter, right? I don't have time to be shalaye. It's just when you are shalaye, you start resenting the person you are reporting to, because you're like, oh, I've been reporting several times, they're not doing anything. If you've explained and you don't see any change, put in a formal letter, write it. As you are adding it to either your manager, you are sending it as an email to your HR as well, that you are requesting something to be done. You need changes. And if they're not doing anything, that's why I will always advise you to join a trade workforce union. If you are a nurse, join your RCN, join your what's it called, Unison, so that if there's anything that is impacting your ability to work at your workplace, you can take it to your union, and your union will send a representative to your employer to come discuss it. So that way, you're not putting yourself in a way whereby your work will be facing you. Meanwhile, you don't have an understanding of how to deal with issues like that. Yes, you've tried to have a conversation, nothing is changed. You've written a formal letter, nothing is changed. Then you can take it to your union. Your union will send a representative. Obviously, they will ask you what happened. They will ask you what actions have you taken. And then your union will send a representative to your workplace. And they'll be the one to do the back and forth. That is why, like, videos I've done on my channel, I've always asked you guys, any job you find yourself, join a workforce union. How much are you going to pay them monthly? It's better you're paying them either £14 or whatever. My RCN that I joined, I pay £140 something every year. And since the 3 years I've been a nurse, I've only used them once. And why did I use them once? Because they were changing the contract of our job. They are changing the responsibilities of our contract at my workplace. So they were like, if we needed somebody, so they were having one-to-one with all of the staff members. And they said, if you want a representative, you're free to bring your representative. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand all these jargons. I'm going to ask my union to come and represent me. And yes, they sent a representative in who sat there, who explained everything to me and my concerns. And I was like, okay, I'm happy. That's it. They actually become your voice when your voice is not being heard anymore. I'm going to read your comment and I'll drop the link in the comment section. And if anybody has any input, then see, even if she was not well trained, there's nothing wrong in saying, I am not comfortable doing this job alone. A few weeks ago there, I was looking after a patient and I was meant to take an arterial blood gas. I have been trained, okay, in-house training by my other colleagues. But the kind of person I am, I will watch you do that thing or that activity a few times. And then I will try to have a go while I am being observed. Maybe once, twice. I would probably love to be observed doing that activity maybe 3 times. Afterwards, I will now attempt to do it on my own. But like I said, I've had in-house training, but I've not had it. So I've not had the chance to actually do it on my own and be observed. So I was looking after that patient and we were to take an arterial blood gas. And I was like, you know what? My supervisor was around there. In fact, my team leader. And I was like, no, I don't feel confident doing this. Do you mind? And she was like, oh, that's fine. Wemi, it's all right. So she brought another member of staff who's actually had multiple practices and she was doing it. So our supervisor was watching. I was watching and my other colleague did it. So now, if I had to do an arterial blood gas, I would just ask that, can I have somebody observe me while I do this or even talk me through it? So there's nothing wrong in, if there's something you've been asked to do and you can't do it, you're not confident or you're not comfortable doing it, tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not confident doing this. Or do you mind observing me or even talking me through this? So in this case of this carer now, she had the tools to use. I just felt like she really didn't want to be at that place. Because why was she actually lifting the man off with the chair? She's not even scared of breaking her own back. Why was she lifting? See, for the fact that she's going to clean the man's head, body, arms, she could do that while the man was sitting in the chair. Even wash his legs while he was sitting in the chair. The only time she would have had to lift him up was when if she needed to change the pads. And then that is when she would now transport him, get him up with his frame. The frame is going to help him stand. And then whatever you are doing, you talk to him, chat to him, let him know what you're doing. Oh, John, now that I've washed your top and bottom, I'm going to have to change your pads now. Do you mind standing up with your frame? That is, if he's cooperating with you. But if he's not cooperating, it's not bad if you let him be and let your manager know. Or like I said, let him be, go do other things that you need to do in the house, come back and try again. And if he's still resisting, then you get your supervisor involved. Phone them straight away. And if your supervisor is insisting that you carry out the care, politely tell them that no, you will not do it. Because at the end of the day, you are saving yourself. Now, it was said there, CCTV captured everything. His son went to visit him the following day, after Christmas, found him with BLOD on his head, unconscious, and it was the son who called the police. That Baba would have actually died if the son had not gone to visit him. And yes, he passed away 10 days later. Come on now. Come on. Letter said Nigeria is a cost country and most of its people. Me, I'm not cost too. I'm not cause I beg. No be most of these people I beg. Where you hear that one from? Arikemi, hello everybody. I see you here. Please like this live stream. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section. We'll take a couple of calls and then we'll round up. I just want to come and do it because, like I said, all those comments, as I see them, I was just deleting them. I'm like, no, what? I'm not about to start responding to. I'm not about to respond to some dingbats. If that was your mother, they do that too. Be smiling, okay? Be smiling. Arikemi said, exactly, if you can't deal with his challenges, leave then. It's not by force. Sadly, most folks are motivated by, exactly, in my own opinion, and they pay them really well in London when they do all this care at home job. They pay them a lot. And then they often have enough time. So now, maybe she's been booked to spend maybe 45 minutes with this Baba. And she probably think that, oh, I'll quickly do this in 15 minutes and I'll go to Yalagbada's place and go and sit down there for 30 minutes. That's what some of them do. Like I said, I've done care in the community before. The care home that I worked with, we have the chance whereby maybe 2 days, you'll be 2 days in the care home and then 1 day in the community. Be smiling. Happy say be smiling. No, you have, so I was working 4 days a week. So I either do 3 days in the care home looking after residents and then 1 day in the community for like people in the community, help them prepare their breakfast, help them go to the supermarket to shop for their food, or go with them to the supermarket to shop for their food. We take taxi everywhere. And I love that part of doing the job. But when other colleagues were actually making me feel uncomfortable, seeing how they treat elderly residents, I was like, no, I can't stand. And when I said I was going to report them, they threatened me. And I'm like, come, Omo, before I put me for Wala, I'm leaving this job. And that was why I was only at that job for 6 weeks. And I was like, no, I want to do this professionally. That was actually one of the reasons that made me go into nursing. Abby said, 2 Nigerian nurses here in the UK saved my life at exactly. One extended that shift by an hour to make sure I wasn't sat and not attended to. This whole time I was close to have. Can you imagine? So people will go to extra length for you. And this is just, I'm quite emotional right now because I've had a time whereby I was in hospital as well. When I had my son and I hemorrhaged, it was an Indian lady. Immediately she pressed my abdomen. I screamed. She was like, oh, I think she's hemorrhaging. She pulled the emergency button. Before I knew it, doctors, midwives came in. What happened? They've already delivered my baby. She was with me up until they wheeled me into theater. And I remember, I think I had my son about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the Sunday. And then by the time I woke up from surgery, it was about maybe about 9 o'clock. Ideally, she would have finished her duty for about maybe 7:45 or 8 o'clock. She came to check on me. She was like, no, I finished work half an hour ago. I was just on my way home and I thought I would come check on you. And I was like, oh, I'm fine. And I asked her what happened. And she was like, oh, you must have hemorrhaged. And also, my son had a spinal surgery. The nurses went every length for him. They did everything to make him comfortable. And at some point, I could not even stand there because I knew the kind of pain it was going to be in. No be small thing to do spinal surgery. T4, T5, because he had scoliosis. He had curvature of the spine. T4, T5. They were there. They were like, Mom, you're going to be looked after. And there's this particular young nurse. She was always coming. Oh, Simon, how are you today? She was always coming. That is how you will know. The people are not even doing the job for the money. It's because maybe there's something happened in their life that they felt like, oh, maybe if there was just an extra 10 minutes spent. Some people are you should even be an advocate for your patients. I've seen nurses whereby doctors are saying, oh no, do this and let the patient go. Nurses will tell you though, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. Can we take a second opinion? I think there's a urine, maybe there's meant to be another patient that should be discharged, but because they needed that bed, they are looking to discharge the patient, but Baba never urinate for how many days? But doctor is saying, oh, give him this and let him go. And nurse is saying that actually, I think we should do maybe a bladder scan. Is he retaining? Can we maybe discharge him with a catheter? You should advocate for your patients. Exactly, Abby. If they didn't interfere, I wonder what would have happened. Justice for Lagbajao. Arika say, as long as you have it at the back of your mind each time you are at work, that what is this? Is it exactly? What if it was my mom? What if it was my dad? What if it was my child? What if it was me? And like I said, this old age now, all of us, by God's grace, we go experience this old age. And let me know if you would like to be treated this way. What if? Guys, I'm going to drop the link in the comment section. I'm going to take a couple of calls and then we shall round up, guys. Okay. I've dropped the link in the comment section, guys. So I'll take a couple of calls, maybe the first two caller in, and then we shall round up. My advice is this: if you know you are going to care job for the money, you are digging the grave for yourself. And if there's anything you've been asked to do and you're not comfortable doing it, there's nothing wrong with saying, I am not confident or comfortable doing this. It's either they send another carer or maybe they ask somebody else to come with you. And like I said, I'm going to share that story of that lone worker. It's a Kenyan woman. Because if like I said, they will give you the profile of the person you are going to go and do care at home. And me, I can't do care. I can't do living carer. I can't, whereby you'll be in that person's house for 2 weeks. And then they'll send another person for another 2 weeks. I can't. Somebody that has mental issues now buy the carer. Now she's gone. She left her 2 children. 2 of her children they've just arrived into the UK after she's been toiling for years to try and bring them into the UK. And I think she's only 41 or something. Gone like that. I've made that video. I'm going to edit it and maybe you guys will see that video sometimes in the course of the week. I will never do lone working. I will never do. Even when I was working with vulnerable women, we have our own office with CCTV camera. It was a flat, 3-story building flat, and each of the residents had their own bedroom. So which meant that each floor has two patients, not patient, but I'll say 2 ladies. So in the entire building, we had 8 rooms and 8 women, and our office is in the bottom ground. So there's a CCTV camera. If there's anybody coming, if I don't recognize the face, if they want to come in, I don't allow them into the building. So we have a CCTV camera and a button. So it's either they bring themselves in, or if they are not able to get themselves, they press the buzzer. I check the camera. If it's one of our residents, I'll let them in. Even though we are alone working, I have my own toilet. I have my own kitchen when I'm at work. And then I'm doing my paperwork there because we do night shift as well. And I always turn the lock behind the door. Yes, they are vulnerable women. I don't know them that well. Some of them are Ayilolos. But for the fact that they are Ayilolos, some of them are lovely. They are moms. Some of them go to Shashewo like that. Some of them want Jegbana. But then they are trying to get off so that we can get them back into the community. So that way, they'll be in that flat for like maybe 4 months if they are fine, and they'll try and get them accommodation into the community. But then with that, they still do madness. Me, I will not let anybody come and buy me. When I'm in my office, I lock the door. If they need to speak to me, I will ask them, is there anything? Do you need anything? It's good to use brain. Hello, Abby.
Hello. Good evening, sis. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I just think it's unfortunate that Nigerians lack objectivity. I understand that you like your own. I understand that you're patriotic, but right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where this one Nigerian can also ruin it for the rest of us. First of all, if you're even going to look at it from a selfish standpoint, that should be one reason why you would want things to be done right.
Yeah.
We know that a lot of immigration changes is as a result of all of this, some of this bad behavior as well.
True.
And it does is not different from stuff like this, you know? And yes, a lot of people have had really bad experiences with nurses and all. Like I said, my own experience with the NHS generally, I'm one of the people that cannot relate to the NHS being terrible because the one time that I needed them,
they actually performed.
They performed. I mean, first night they sent me back home with painkillers, not checking anything. Second night it became like a tragic situation. I had a blood clot in my lung, a PE, and like I said, it was 2 Nigerian nurses that saved my life that night. So for me, my experience with nurses is amazing, but I've heard all sorts of terrible stories from other people. And what you even said about nurses advocating for their patients is so true, because I've volunteered in hospital before, and no disrespect at all, I have 3 doctors in my family and I love them to bits, but doctors can be so complacent.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I feel like if as a nurse, you don't stand up for your patients, doctors, I think they just want to do what they want to do, get everybody out. But nurses actually provide care. There's
Absolutely.
actually a difference. I think that as a doctor, being intelligent, being able to retain information, and having skill is enough, in my opinion. But you see, a nurse, you have to naturally have empathy. You have nurses are very different from doctors, and most
Yeah.
doctors will even tell you that if they know a nurse has been working for X amount of years, they actually seek their opinions because they are
Yes.
there before, they are there during, and they are there after.
After.
So the average nurse knows way more than the average doctor, even if doctors tend to have more extensive training and education. But because of the experience that they have with
Yeah.
patients, right? So a lot of doctors will tell you that. That's why you see doctors when they are close to a sister on the ward, they are very close. They seek her opinion because
Yes.
they are experienced. They know their stuff more than
True.
more doctors. So I think
True.
as a nurse, as a doctor, you can get away with just being a smart person. But as a nurse, being smart is not enough. You need to
Exactly. Because
you
your
need to have
answer, you
empathy.
are seeing everything.
Yes, you need to have that. You need to care. You need to care. So I mean, it's just unfortunate that Nigerians just act the way that they act. And like I always say, Nigerians, we have to be very honest and just come to the conclusion that we deserve our leaders, because our mentality towards things, the same comments we see towards fraud as well.
Exactly.
We see towards immigration situations as well. These same comments we see when those men take advantage of young girls. Remember? We see the
Yeah.
same comments from Nigerian men saying, why did he do that? Like you're making excuses and
What,
being
what,
an
what was she
apologist.
wearing? What did she wear?
Stuff. We
This
see
is
this.
that.
We've been seeing this for a long time. And like I can't remember the person that said it, where they said, I think it might have been Auntie Adoni, where she said, at the end of the day, we're not happy that these men that are ABSU young girls are getting arrested. But the truth is, it's about time, because they were doing this thing in Nigeria and God don't catch them now.
Exactly.
So it
Yeah.
is what it is. That's how the
Absolutely.
cookie crumbles. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abby, for that. Thank you so much for
No
that
worries.
contribution there. Like I said, it's the bad eggs that will always put our faces out there. And yes, people, there seems to be a lot of the bad eggs out there now. There seems to be a lot of bad faces out there now, which means, well, that's why I say no. If I see any of them, I will come here and call them out. And if you say because I'm a Nigerian, I should not speak about it, I will speak about it, because at the end of the day, if that was your mother, they say you don't know where the shoe print, you don't know where the shoe print is until you are in that shoe or whatever. If that was your mom that was treated that way, keep quiet. And in fact, be dancing, be dancing, be dancing. But all I'm going to say is this: if you are in the care work for the money, you are digging a grave for yourself. Just do it passionately, and yet it's something you love that you get rewarded at. Okay, even for the job that we do, even my own role here, you know how many cards we receive from patients alone, even though we only spend like maximum an hour at times with the patient. That's just 1 hour time that we spend with the patient. We get cards like maybe 8 weeks after patient has been to our care to say thank you, appreciating. Some of us love our job. We will go through any length as long as you're using your voice to advocate for other people. If you some people just want to wear that uniform, blue and blue. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. It's more than the uniform. Because at the end of the day, the person you are caring for as a human being just like you, if the role were to be turned, how would you want to be cared for? How would you want to be cared for? Anyway, guys, I think that's the only call I'm going to take. I've just, like I said, I just want to be here for a short period. So those of you that are saying, how can a Nigerian like you be saying that you should be jailed? This is that. This is she not Nigerian? Are you not Nigerian? FUCK Nigeria. FUCK Nigeria. With that being said, guys, I guess I've passed my opinion, my thoughts across. So if you like, go and be doing that. This one now that they give us suspended 6 weeks, when it comes to your turn, they might probably just throw you into jail and throw away the key. A word is not for the wise. With that being said, this is where I'm going to drop the curtain now. Thanks so much, Abby. Thank you everybody who have been here. I really appreciate you all. And if you're watching this video again, do not hesitate to like, drop a comment as based on what has been raised in this video. Do not hesitate to share, join my membership, like. And I shall see you at some point again tomorrow. I think we have a live stream tomorrow. And we're going to be, I think there's a live stream tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure. Either a live stream or a video. Something's going to drop tomorrow. And we have a live stream at night as well. I think we're going to be doing the Baba Obasanjo's ex-baby mama or alleged baby mama who came out to say that Baba allegedly dumped her and she has twin for Baba Obasanjo. Allegedly. I watched the interview on the channel I came across about 2 days ago. I watched the interview and I've actually emailed the channel to say, you know what, I would love to use a portion of their video when I'm reacting. I'm hoping they'll reply me at some point. If not, I'm just going to go through snippets I found on Instagram so we can discover. I watched the interview from the beginning to the end, so I might just be able to narrate the story to you guys, but it will be better if you guys hear from the woman herself. So with that being said, have an amazing Friday night and I shall see you all later. All right, bye for now. Bye.